All right, let's start. Oh, you're waiting for silence. All right, I'm picking up.
Shut the fuck up!
I saw Bill Nye. My elbow's fucked up.
Shut the fuck up! We can bullshit after I start this fucking podcast. Hi, welcome to the Radial podcast. I'm Austin, joined by Devin.
Hi.
And Geoff.
The podcast has started. The bullshit can begin.
Yes, it can.
He
Guys,
was yelling at us.
I was.
Literally not 10 seconds ago.
Guys, I want to give some shit away. You know, I talked about I was going to maybe do a giveaway a few weeks back.
Yeah.
We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to give a shirt away. So just, you know.
Which shirt?
Whichever shirt whoever wins wants. But they've got
so generous.
They've got to hang out until the end of this podcast.
All right.
So
I know.
Good thing there's no way to skip to the end, and they have to just sit through.
they're still going to have to do some stuff. So it's not like they can just get a shirt. Daniel.
You don't.
Yeah. Also, Daniel cannot
not
possibly
eligible.
win.
Happy Valentine's Day. This releases on Valentine's Day. So if ladies, if your man is making you listen to this shit on the way to dinner, I apologize, but props to that dude.
Man, I was thinking the other way around. I was like, what lady is forcing their man to listen to this? Because I misinterpreted what you said.
Nah,
I was like, our female audience.
I would say our
is
demographic
probably
leans towards men.
just slightly.
Yeah.
Nudged right over that line.
Geoff, you didn't quite go to space, but
No, unfortunately.
you did some space stuff that you wanted to tell the audience about.
Yeah. I flew to Orlando on a whim to go watch the SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch, which actually occurred on the day that it was supposed to. And I toured around NASA, and it was sick. I got to watch the rocket launch. It didn't blow up. It sounded awesome. And then those two boosters came back down, and I could see them landing. I could hear their sonic booms. It was really cool.
We got that fucking electric car off this planet,
I got a hat.
and you did get a hat.
Yeah, those pictures are really surreal, because you look at it and you're like, this just looks like a composite image of...
What, of
like,
Starman?
Yeah, where people are like, here's a car and here's Earth in the background, and they just composite these images together. But it's like, no, that's...
No, dude, that's a green screen. We all know the Earth is flat.
real.
What if Elon Musk killed a guy, and that's an actual dead body, not a mannequin?
Inside the fucking
You know,
spacesuit.
Yeah, he's like, oh
That's-
boy, I have this space company. I killed this guy. How do I dispose of this body? Everyone
That's
will
a
think it's
really-
just a mannequin if I just shot this shit into
That's
space.
a really fucking good idea, actually, because like
Yeah,
you get the
got-
rigor mortis, right? So you can kind of like put him how you need to.
I mean, it's a spacesuit,
but also
like-
it's a spacesuit, so it's airtight, so the stank
He
doesn't get
yeah.
out. Man,
But like, you know, if he did, like,
how to get away with murder?
you get
Be a
that
billionaire.
one. You get that one. That
Yeah.
one's on.
Yeah,
That's your. You get a free one.
yeah,
now.
you get a free murder for owning a space company.
Yeah, if anybody has like $200 million, you can get away with murder.
I think it's probably a lot more than that.
I mean, a SpaceX Falcon 9 launch costs around $100 million.
Yeah, but then you got to do all like the R&D and
Well,
make the company and
I mean, like maybe he like wants, but he's got customers,
word.
so they're paying for this murder.
Speaking of your trip, man, you were telling me what your rental car was,
Yeah.
and I want to hear about it.
All right, I can tell you about it. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. I got the rental counter and they handed me a Chevy key fob, and I was like, okay. And I like walked out, and like I was clicking the trunk, and like none of them were opening. And then it wasn't the car that I was hoping it was. There was like a Chevy Cruze next to it that looked pretty
Fucking
sporty.
lame.
It's a little bit bigger in a weird way. I had a 2018 Chevy Sonic Turbo.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And I could hear the turbo noises a little bit when I was in a parking garage.
Hell
I
yeah.
put that thing in neutral and like revved it, and I was like, "What's?" No, it was like,
Oh.
It was very, very small turbo.
Oh, man. Was it a hatchback?
No, it was a sedan.
Lame.
It did things. So the first thing that I noticed about this car, its screen, it has like, the little
An
LCDs.
infotainment center.
Yeah, infotainment center. The quality of that picture on that screen, vastly superior to like what Ford has.
Oh, is it pretty high res?
Yeah, like it was a stark contrast to what I was expecting to see out of it. Because I had a Ford Fiesta a couple weeks ago when I flew to Minnesota, and that screen looked like shit in comparison to this one. This one looks like just a normal display that you would expect. Like it doesn't have that like semi-gloss finish to it. Like it looks sharp.
Oh, so it looks like an actual, like a tablet would or something like that?
Absolutely.
Cool. How does it compare to the Mazda 6 infotainment center? Or do you remember that very well?
I don't remember.
Because you were driving, I was just fucking with it.
So this is a thing that I didn't ever really pay attention to because my car doesn't do it. But I plugged my phone into the USB, and so I was just doing the Apple CarPlay the whole time, which basically just takes over the infotainment center, and now you're just using shit
An
on
iPhone.
your phone. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not like a one-to-one comparison. I didn't get out of that environment. But Apple CarPlay is pretty cool. It works pretty good most of the time.
Sweet.
I like that.
That's cool.
I wonder how well it works with Android devices. Like
They had an Android version of it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's Apple CarPlay and like Android Play or something. That was another option.
I'm
That's
surprised
kinda neat.
they've got they made deals with both of them.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, what's the demographic on like phones? Like, I would say most people have iPhones.
I would
that
say
is
that
not
most
true at
people
all.
have Google
That's
Android
weird.
based phones.
So more people have iPhones than like a specific other phone,
Yes.
but Android has the
okay.
majority of the market share.
Okay. So just the operating system, it's...
Yeah, Android
Okay.
has the marketing or the majority of the market
Majority
share.
Mm-hmm.
But like per device, like the iPhone is probably like the best selling. Although they've like, there's so many different iPhones now that
But
like,
they all
they've-
run the same OS.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
but, like,
essentially the same.
each one of those is like taking market share away from the others.
Yeah.
To where I bet no single iPhone actually probably is the number one phone anymore.
But it doesn't, the phone itself doesn't really matter so much because since they all run the same OS, the developers can develop for the exact same thing. Whereas for Android, they have to develop for each OS and its limitations and stuff like that. Because I saw an infographic recently that shows like the bifurcation of all the Android OSs and like what percentages of phones were still running like old ass Android OS versus iPhone old OS versions is really low.
yeah.
Like it's like 85% or higher on the current OS.
Neat.
Anyway, back to the car stuff.
But all my OS stuff still works with my old-ass head unit in my truck. My head unit was like 2008, so it's 10 years old now.
Yeah.
It still works with my brand new iPhone 8 Plus, so, neat. But, I mean, was the car
I liked.
enough power? Like,
I never got on it
I
all the way.
don't expect you to beat on it, but I mean, like, in terms of, like,
Oh yeah.
is it just a shit economy box?
No.
Or...
So it was actually pretty impressive. Like it had. This was definitely wasn't a base because it was a turbo, I guess. But it had like leather interior and
Nice.
like the.
Did it have heated seats?
It did have heated
Nice.
seats, but it had like a captain's chair for the driver's seat with an armrest that would fold down, which was kind of weird.
I'm into it.
But there wasn't like a center console like there was, but it was like super low, so it like needed that armrest. Complaints with the car: the driver's side door armrest, where my elbow was not a cushioned thing. It was just a hard piece of plastic, which really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it is an economy car.
But if you like the door panel had like leather on it,
Padded leather.
but like
Well,
just-
if it had leather seats, it was probably an LT like trim, not LS. And so it should have that, but I guess not. My in-laws have a Chevy Spark.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't, I mean, it is like the basest of base models. Like it's a $14,000 brand new car. So
the one other thing that I liked that I don't know why I liked it, but it really stood out to me, the indicator stock and the windshield wiper stocks were like slightly rubberized in the same way that Devin, your laptop top is rubberized. Like that kind of,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like they were like that, which is really nice, and I don't know why. Other things I didn't like, the way to manipulate the like car like economy info and like see like your trip odometer and your fuel economy thing that normally like you just push the button that's right on the dash for it. I couldn't find the fucking thing for like 10 minutes. Turns out it was a little... You know how Chevy's always done something stupid with their cruise control and put it on the turn signal indicator?
Yeah.
They got away from that on this car, and that is on the steering wheel. So
Good.
They got a plus there. But that's where they put the shit for the fucking car info. There's a
They put it on the turn signal stock?
Yes, there's a little wheel.
Fuck?
There's a wheel inside of the turn signal stock that like
Just
clicks
put it
up
on
or
the steering
down,
wheel.
and you hold in on the end of the turn signal stock for that. Yeah, like I was looking all over the place, and finally I fucking saw it on the...
Like, that's something that Ford's had down for years, is just put it on the steering wheel. Like, that's where it should go. That's where your hands are.
Well,
weird place
to be
for that.
fair, they at least move cruise control there.
Yeah.
Other things like the volume adjustment on the steering wheel, it was like a button up and down, like a rocker button, but to the left of it, to like skip songs forwards or backwards, they had like a little clicky lever that like it was just one lever that you flicked either up or down.
Why?
And they should have inverted those to where the song skip
They
was a
should
button.
both be the same.
Well, I mean, the song skip button is used...
In my
Is a
pickup,
more
my
of a
pickup
button.
has steering wheel controls.
Yeah.
Granted, this is 2005, not 2018. They're both on the right-hand side of the wheel, top buttons. Volume up, down, just a teeter-totter button. Seek teeter-totter button. Right next to each other. I mean...
Yeah, I've got the same on my 2013 Ford.
They're right next to each other, but one of them is a rocker button and the other one is a...
Those two things shouldn't
like
be
a
different.
Flicky lever with like a little texture piece on it.
The flicky lever sounds bad. Like, that just seems like it'd be so weird.
That seems like something that will easily break.
Well, no, it's like, think about some windshield or some window switches are like that, where it's like a little, it just kind of,
Yeah.
it's like a rocker button that just like protrudes a little bit.
No, thank you.
I like that one better than the clicky button
No,
because I couldn't feel where my hand was on the clicky button very well.
no, thank you.
The car got great gas mileage though, and it was cheap to fill up. I drove like 300 something miles.
Ooh.
And only had to fill the car up with $20 of gas to return it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It was
good.
like 30 something miles per gallon.
That's pretty good.
It was great.
Guys,
Yes.
got a lot of news to go over.
We do have a lot of news to go over.
As we're getting closer to racing season proper, not just Formula E, stuff is coming up. So we're just going to jump right into it. Guys, Renault's pretty confident of their power and reliability gains over the
They
offseason.
goddamn better be.
They need it.
I mean,
Because-
that's what everybody should say, but, they seem to be pretty confident in that. So, good news for McLaren
Hopefully.
and Renault,
Hopefully their claims are accurate.
Renault proper and Red Bull.
Red Bull proper.
Hey, talking about Red Bull, have you guys noticed I haven't heard shit about Toro Rosso?
No, I have not.
Like, I have not heard anything
They're probably
from them.
What do you mean?
Like, any news or,
because we don't know their car reveal either.
every other team's talking about stuff.
Toro Rosso's is announced. Red Bull's is not.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Although Toro Rosso isn't revealing... Well, Toro Rosso is revealing the morning before testing. So it's like the last possible
opportunity.
moment.
I mean, like, I'm... Like, just in the news, and I primarily use motorsport.com, but, like, I'm not seeing anything from them, because you see things from, like, Renault and Mercedes and Haas had a thing, and, like, I mean, people are talking. Like, Force India is talking about stuff. I have not heard anything from Toro Rosso.
Well, Force City's talking about stuff, just not what their new name is yet.
I know, but, like, you hear the teams talking. Toro Rosso's not saying anything.
Have they? I don't know that they've ever really said much.
I
just
mean,
kinda
that's
let
a
it
fair
be.
point, but like for me, it's kind of like, what's going on in there? I want to know. They got to deal with that shitty powertrain.
Yeah. So we're the McLaren documentary that's out right now. You can probably just imagine all of like Toro Rosso liveries there, and that's what they're
But
going through.
they're all
currently.
speaking Italian and not English.
They're all speaking Italian.
Yeah.
And they're all still looking for drawings.
Mercedes posted a video of their 2018 F1 engine startup, and so did Ferrari.
I will say the Mercedes one I watched, and like the the microphone like that motor sounded great. I like the way that sounded.
Yep.
I wish they sounded like that on the broadcasts.
Yeah,
I
think
know
a
they're
lot of
working on
mic
it,
stuff.
but like, I thought that startup sounded really good.
Yeah, so Ferrari and Mercedes have both posted engine sounds, which that's kind of like a neat teaser before they unveil the cars. So, McLaren talking shit about Mercedes and Ferrari, telling Liberty not to back down to their bullshit. Like, oh, we'll quit the sport if you change these rules or whatever. McLaren said that teams come and go, and the sport has always survived. So, don't let the teams bully you about rule changes. Also with McLaren, they got a Dell sponsorship. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a cool, like, they're a technology company. Dell's a technology company. So, I know McLaren's been looking for sponsors.
Is it is it an old Dell laptop that they have to find for the
no,
F1s,
it's an old IBM.
I remember, yeah, like
it's an old IBM. But I read a thing recently. They've got like a emulator now that they can use on computers to work on the McLaren F1.
Well, that's good because
that is good.
Needed that because I remember at one
there's
point
only one guy in North America that can work on that car.
Yeah.
Jesus,
those cars are awesome.
Mercedes lost their Hugo Boss sponsorship to Formula E, so guess who they picked up?
Ralph Lauren.
Tommy Hilfiger, which is basically the same thing, I guess. It's like grandpa clothes.
I mean, Hugo Boss, I feel like
is
a watch
company.
Fashionable.
Yes, it is.
Whereas Tommy Hilfiger, I feel like is much lower tier.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I want to say that you can buy like, well, you know what? I actually don't know because now that I think about it, I feel like you can buy both of them at JCPenney.
Yeah, I think so.
You can.
JCPenney still exist?
Yes.
Okay.
Barely. But like Tommy Hilfiger is something that you see like old men wearing and like
people that shop at malls.
Moms buy it for their sons because they think it's fashionable.
Or it's affordable level dress clothing.
Yeah.
So, look forward to seeing Lewis
so they're
and
not going to
Valtteri
have the
wearing
cool
that shit.
Hugo Boss like fake watch on their gloves anymore.
I don't
I
think
thought that was
a
a
Hugo
Rolex.
Boss.
That was a Hugo Boss. That's what that was.
I feel like that was
sure
a
that
Rolex.
what
Hugo
like
Boss is a
tag?
watch company.
I feel like they're a clothing company.
They're a clothing company primarily.
Google this. Don't kick my mic stand, dickhead.
Whoops. Yeah, I don't think that was a Hugo Boss watch. I'm trying to remember.
Hugo Boss watches.
Feel like it's
No, Hugo Boss definitely makes watches, but that's not their
if
main
you Google Hugo Boss, like if I, this is not what I was looking for.
Hugo Boss. Listen as we Google bullshit.
Stop Googling Hugo Boss watch.
I didn't Google Hugo Boss watch. Pulling it up at Macy's. Let's see. And Macy's is still a thing. So they make suits.
It's IWC is the watch on the Mercedes.
Oh,
Class.
okay. Sweet. So they're still going to have the cool watch.
Yep.
Yeah, so yes.
Cool. Well, then I'm retarded. The
No surprise there.
WEC, the full entry list for the 2018 24 Hours of Le Mans is out. I'll post that on Facebook for everybody to look at if they're curious. There's 10 LMP1 teams racing.
Do you know if that's up or down from last year?
I'm sure it's down, but yeah. I don't know. It's like Manor's one, Dragon Speed, Toyota. There's a couple others.
Toyota.
Speaking of LMP1, you guys remember that guy Rowland from F2?
Sure do.
That good race. He landed an LMP1 seat in WEC for the season with Manor.
Nice.
So I didn't know
is
that this is the same Manor.
I was going to say, is this Manor the same Manor?
This is Manor from F1. They actually had a thing a couple weeks back. There was an article that was talking about how they would be happy to return to F1 if the cost was lower.
Oh, yeah, I bet they would.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I bet there's a lot of companies that would love to get into F1.
I would love to get into F1 if it was affordable for me.
And now we're going to enter the WEC Alonso Minute. Alonso did some testing with the Toyota LMP1 car and says it's a rocket ship. WEC moved the Fuji race.
Yeah, I think last time we mentioned that
they were thinking
about it.
Yep.
And they've now moved the Fuji race, and now it clashes with Petit Le Mans.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't this screw some other drivers?
And also it clashes with a round of the Super GT Championship.
I think it's going to be okay.
And it's going to fuck over several people that are we're planning to do both, and now we're going to have to choose.
Are they the greatest race car driver in the world?
No, they're not.
So
yeah. So now this race has avoided the U.S. Grand Prix, so Alonso can be there. But
fuck all those other drivers.
Fuck all those other guys.
Yep.
Like, and also WC was like, hey, IMSA, maybe you could just move Petit Le Mans.
I mean, maybe they could.
And IMSA said, hey, go fuck yourself. We're not moving this thing. And funny. I think there has been some scuttlebutt that the Super GT race might move its date because...
That would be smart on their part. I mean, Super GT, they're so small. Like, I mean, they're big in Japan, right? But, like, on an international scale, if they want any viewership, like, they should probably move.
Yeah, so. But, I mean, both of these races are going to be happening the same time in Japan.
Yeah.
So they're going to be just cannibalizing each other. Like, Super GT...
more people are going to go to WEC, dude.
I don't know, in Japan.
I would say more people are going to go...
It's like, I think I remember from the, 6-hour race from Super GT last year that Jensen Button did, that race regularly gets better attendance than the F1 race in Japan.
Neat. Okay,
so Japan seems really big on Super GT.
Maybe Super GT will move. I think that would be smart on their part.
That would.
Because WEC is not going to move again.
No.
So...
and a lot of people have been... Like, I've seen a lot of drivers talking shit about this. Like, hey, you shouldn't, like, fuck a bunch of guys just for this one guy. Like, even, like, Jensen Button's been out there.
I don't think that Alonso did that, though. I think it's WEC and the team, the Toyota LMP1 team, is making these things happen. Alonso just wants to drive race cars.
Yeah.
Like...
But at the same time, Toyota's hurting themselves because, like, they've got drivers in these other series that are going to not be able to
care
drive.
More about probably their Pinnacle Racing, which is the LMP1 car.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, Jensen's just like, yeah, this kind of sucks they're doing this. I don't know. I guess it's good for me because I'm going to have a couple competitors not at my race.
Yeah,
but
McLaren has insisted that Alonso's role at the Toyota LMP1 team be very minimized. Obviously, McLaren thinks that they should be Alonso's focus, not WEC races.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's how that actually is, because I think McLaren would have to give their blessing to let Alonso go do all these other things.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, like, seeing how much other shit Alonso's doing this year. Like,
oh my god!
With, like, imagine if Ron Dennis was still around at McLaren. Like, this shit would never happen.
No, it wouldn't.
Like,
it absolutely wouldn't. And I think McLaren's doing whatever McLaren has to do to keep Alonso.
Yeah,
because who's gonna want to race at McLaren?
Yeah,
I mean, after the past few seasons,
I started. So we mentioned it briefly earlier, that McLaren documentary Grand Prix Driver on Amazon.
Yeah.
I started watching that, and, like, Eric Boulier, their, like, racing director that they've got now, when he came in, I think it was, like, Ron Dennis was like, hey, for you, Eric, like, what is your ideal driver lineup? He's just like, Fernando Alonso. Like, that is all he wants.
Yep.
And, like, Eric Boulier is sort of making it very clear in this. He's like, yeah, Alonso's the best driver in the world, and we need him.
Yep.
It's like, he's right, but still, like, it was interesting to see him just, like, flat out say that.
I mean, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to say that on the documentary, but I'm sure he actually believes that also.
Yeah.
So,
also, like, I guess, let me just...
The most prestigious F1 team.
On this McLaren shit, let me mention that documentary so far. It's been... So I've watched half of it so far. It's 4 half-hour pieces. And it seems good and is getting, like, kind of intimate. It's kind of interesting to where it's just like, yeah, this is some secret shit we don't actually want you to see. So it's like, at one point they're, like, working on this, like, nut or, like, pin or something, and it's just like they've blurred out the middle of it, so you can't really see what it looks like. You can just see, like, the ends of it as these dudes are, like, fucking with it, trying to fix it, because, like, spoilers, Honda, that engine is bad.
Trash.
And, like, McLaren's putting their car together and the Honda engine shows up and they're like, all right, let's slap this thing in. And it does not fit. It's just fuck. They're like, oh, we cannot mount this to our gearbox.
Yep.
And like,
could have changed the whole fucking casting.
The engine came with like 3 Japanese dudes from Honda.
Just in the box.
Yeah, it's just in the box and they'd get out.
And like the McLaren guys are like, all right, can you get me like the design like paperwork for this? Like, can I get like schematics? And like the Japanese dudes are just like talking to each other in Japanese. And he's like, I need you to get me this so I can go have this guy go design this so we can go make these new parts here in the next couple hours. We need to get this shit done like as fast as possible. Because they like, because of this, missed like their initial shakedown date that they were aiming for. And,
oh yeah,
it's also doing like
seems about right.
Doing a pretty good job of like humanizing Stoffel Van Dorn a bit more. Because like,
sorry, don't you mean Van Doorn?
Sorry, Stoffel Van Dorn.
Yeah.
His name gets pronounced really weird by the common voiceover guy on that.
I can't remember what that dude's name is.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas super sucks.
I don't know who he is.
I barely know anything about him. But
he's an actor.
Like, I don't know. Like, this past year, like, Stoffel's just kind of been... he's in Alonso's shadow. He knows that.
He's a number 2 driver.
And it's just, like, you don't really see much of him over the year, so it's, like, interesting here. Like, they're kind of focusing on him because it's, like, this was his rookie season, so they're, like, watching this guy who's entering into this program for the start. So yeah, you're getting some good look.
Yeah,
at
I need to go watch that. I meant to watch it before we recorded today, and I had dealings. So
you were selling drugs? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but like, nah.
Well, like dealings.
Nah.
He had dealings.
We can move on to Formula E. Just one quick bit of news. Daniel Abt accuses Formula E rivals of cheating with fan boost. Devin, did you read this article?
I did not. I was curious. Is this Daniel Abt saying this, or is it the team? Nope, it is Daniel Abt. I thought maybe it was like the team Abt.
Dude is salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
This dude's throwing shade a lot.
He's had a rough go of it this year.
Yeah, he sure has. We can go ahead and move on by that, though. If people are curious, they can go look at that article. I mean, everything that we're talking about is on motorsport.com. So,
oh, jeez. There's some choice quotes from here, from him in here. It's like, says he is now, quote, fed up to the back teeth. In one of his video blogs addressing his fans, he said, I know you work your asses off to vote for me, and I'm working my ass off to get you involved, but there are some drivers who manage to cheat a bit. I'm not just saying that because I'm a sore loser, I'm saying it because I know it. Somebody told me about it. There's definitely something wrong. We were in front with the votes for last week's race the whole time, but suddenly some drivers got a lot of votes overnight. Strangely, all the votes are from 12 cities in China.
It's weird how if you rely on a social media thing that is easily manipulated, this is going to happen.
Formula E knows about it.
The internet's weird.
Formula E knows about it, but they can't do anything because they cannot prove it properly. This is a catastrophe. I was getting really upset about it. Daniel Abt,
he should give him the Sam Bird.
Very salty.
Can move on to IndyCar. Man, they put an aero screen on one of the new Indy cars, like the next generation car, which looks good. And they put the aero screen on this car at testing at Phoenix, which is an oval track. It looks good on the car.
I hope it is good.
Because
like
they need to develop this thing. Like, it looks way better than Halo by a lot.
I wonder how visibility is, because when I want to say Vettel ran an aero screen on his car for like in practice one time, and he was like, "Yeah, the visibility like is bad in that it's like getting distorted in front of him."
This is an oval track, right? It's not a road course, but so you can hear my dog. I have some commentary on that, and maybe it's tinfoil hat stuff, but maybe it's not. Vettel did like one lap, not even one complete lap. Before he was on the radio, he was bitching about it. Came in. That's the only testing they did in the aero screen.
Yeah.
That's it. I feel like that Formula One wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to actually do the R&D work. The Halo was quick, easy. It was just, oh, well, maybe the aero screen, it's fucked up. All right, cool. We can just do this other thing. We don't have to waste any more time.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember the driver's name, the IndyCar guy, but he said there was no major distortion or anything like that. And if they can make fighter jet cockpits,
it's fucking aluminum that is transparent, man.
If they can make that shit and it doesn't distort,
it distorts. They just deal with it.
Yeah,
they should just fucking figure that out. Like they should do the R&D on that.
If someone would pay NASA more money, they'd get right on it.
But yeah, hopefully the testing goes well in IndyCar, and then
they can develop that. F1 can snag the tech from them or buy it or something.
They've got a picture from in cockpit on this, and this does not look distorted at all.
It's weird.
Yeah, but I wonder if this would be so this photo is. Like,
I'm also
at night.
curious about like road course turning your head all the time, right? I mean, it's an oval course. Yeah, you're still looking ahead, but it's not like you're constantly moving your head and like looking around.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be like angles that cause distortion.
Yeah. And I also want more people's opinion than just Sebastian Vettel, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, this guy said a lot of the same things. Like, it's really hot, because there's no ventilation anymore, so you need to find a way to get air to the driver. It's really quiet, and that's strange.
The other thing that they're definitely going to have to contend with that they don't have to contend with the Halo is debris accumulation on the
tear-offs.
They can have tear-offs.
Yeah, but tear-offs are going to increase distortion. And
are they?
To a degree, because they've got tear-offs on their visors right now, and I imagine they won't be able to get away from that.
if you just make multiple tear-offs, like,
but like, it just seems...
I mean...
It's going to be fine.
Oh, how many tear-offs do they have for their visors?
It seems like they tear them off, like...
They tear them off a lot. And, I mean, it's... Like, MotoGP guys have the same thing.
Yeah.
At least 4.
I mean, even like NASCAR, I mean, it's not the same kind of like curvature, but, I mean, windshields are curved. And you don't have that much distortion.
I mean, this is much greater.
I know, but
that you're much closer to.
There is a solution to the problem. Like
someone who has to spend the money.
Somebody has to actually do the work.
Yeah.
Or we could just put like a T-bar in front of my face.
Yeah, we can block driver visibility and yeah.
I mean, it's probably pretty marginal, depending. There's a couple scenarios in which it's not like this starting.
Yeah. WRC news, something that we don't talk about very often, but people will know the name. Ken Block might be returning to WRC in 2018. Ford hints at this being a possibility. That'd be cool. I might watch WRC if Ken Block was in it.
I want to watch some WRC, but I don't give a shit about Ken Block.
I'm about that hoonigan life.
Like
that's what the kids
watching
like.
WRC, but I feel like I would really like to do WRC.
Good news, I have a simulator.
I want to fly through the air.
Oh, well, I don't have a motion simulator, so
I want to crash into a tree.
End up like Robert Kubica. DTM news. Your boy got a ride.
Yep, Pascal Wehrlein back driving for Mercedes in DTM for, I guess, their last year in DTM.
I mean, it's something.
So, like, he's
collecting a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm glad he's got something, and he's back in Germany, which he seems stoked about, because he's German, so he gets to just, like, be at home.
Is he German, or is he, like, Nico Rosberg German, where he's not actually German?
He's, like, actually German.
Okay.
Wait, Nico Rosberg's not German?
He's Monegasque.
I don't know what that word means.
I think his mom's German. His dad is from, like, Finland, I think.
Yeah.
And he grew up in Monaco.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, we are not German. We don't get to determine who is and is not German.
But Nico Rosberg is not German.
Nico Rosberg doesn't seem German to me. He just speaks the language.
Yeah.
Road car news. McLaren wants to take the Senna racing. I think that's a good idea.
That sounds expensive.
That does sound expensive. That's what I was going to say, too. How expensive is that car?
Like $1 million car.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What series?
Hang on. I'm sure you could take it like GT2 racing, maybe.
What are the GT2 homologation requirements or the production requirements?
500, probably.
Probably.
I think they're making 500 of those cars.
Yeah.
The Mercedes AMG Project 1 is going to have 1,000 horsepower. I just want 1,000 horsepower. But plus, whatever that means.
God, the Senna looks so good.
It really does, man.
I am still not sold on it. I want to see.
It looks better than
car.
the Mercedes AMG Project 1.
I disagree on that point completely.
I think that car's pretty ugly.
I think that car looks fantastic. It looks like a old McLaren F1 modernized.
So
with a shark fin.
The the Mercedes Project 1 is going to make 1,000 horsepower, right? Mm-hmm. But it's going to have like the plus thing that I was talking about means that it's
1,003.
It's not going to exceed 1,100 horsepower. So, it's not like that Dodge Viper that Calvo's building. 2,500 freaking horsepower.
Apparently, it's not clear what McLaren wants to race the Senna in. They just want to race it.
They just want to race it. I mean,
it's fair.
Me too. The Stratos is coming back. You know that wedgie Lancia?
No.
You don't remember that from like Top Gear?
Is it the one that I said that I liked?
Yes.
Okay.
They're making a new one.
All right.
It's going to be 550 plus horsepower.
All right.
I'm into it.
It's going to be like, what, $80,000? Probably.
It's probably going to be a lot, yeah. Geoff, I want to talk about the Honda NR500.
Okay. It was blowing my mind earlier.
Oh, man. Like, I think I saw this
We'll start. This is a motorcycle.
Yeah, this is a motorcycle. I think they raced it in MotoGP.
Yeah, like
this bike was built in 1979.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have been late 70s, early 80s bike. I saw this on the Axis of Oversteer Facebook page, which I like to talk shit to that guy a lot because he's a tifosi for sure.
Man,
he's not swinging Vettel hard.
Tifosi is such a weird word. I don't know why I have such a problem with it.
Italian for fan, I think.
I know.
I mean, that's...
I know, but it sounds like a freaking gang.
Oh yeah, because it's Italian.
Well, no, just like it carries an undertone of like the mob or like the what is it in Japan?
Yakuza.
I was thinking Suzuka, and I was like, that's not right.
I mean, if it's from Italy, it's the mafia.
Well, I don't think they're called the mafia in Italy.
No, they're called the tifosi.
Like, that's my point. It sounds like the Italian equivalent of the Yakuza.
But, yeah, I want to talk about this bike, dude, because, like...
It has oval pistons.
Fucking crazy. So, this is, like, essentially, like, the Formula One thing of, like, man, if it fits what the rules say, you just got to interpret the rules.
It is technically a four-cylinder.
So, this is a V4 engine, which isn't that common. I mean, most four-cylinders are inline.
Yeah.
But this thing has oval pistons and 32 valves.
2 connecting rods per piston.
So it is essentially a V8.
Yes.
I mean, it just combines 2 cylinders together.
Yeah, so if you longitudinally cut the cylinder walls between pistons like 1 and 3 and 5 and 7 and then just made a piston to fit that hole, that's what this is. It's insane.
This bike is nuts.
And it sounds less weird than I would have thought.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too weird. And I'm curious as to like what the longevity on these bikes are. But I mean, it's 500 cc's also. I mean, we're talking about half a liter engine.
How did this bike do in the race series?
It debuted at the British Grand Prix in 1979. It didn't do too good.
Yeah.
Debut races.
Got 5th place in a 1981 race, and then it broke down, and then it never won a race.
Yeah. It's just like crazy engineering madness. Try to manipulate the rules to where you wanted to go. I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was neat.
It is super neat.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you guys have any project car updates? No, because
it's been cold as hell.
Still haven't worked on the Porsche.
I've been in Florida.
Is this supposed to be nice this next weekend?
Let me check. I have stuff on Saturday.
God damn it.
It's
supposed to be 48 and 56 on Sunday.
It'll be nice-ish on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's supposed to snow on Friday.
Shit.
That doesn't sound right because it's gonna be 72 on Thursday and then it's gonna snow on Friday.
AM snow showers. Yeah,
weird place we live in.
We gotta do something with that car. We are so stoked on it. Jeff has a hat.
I have a Porsche hat.
Devin bought a keychain.
We have a Porsche keychain.
We have to do something.
Also
with
has a
that car.
Porsche tattoo.
No,
He went all the way.
no, I didn't.
Don't lie. You can tell them.
It's on my lower back.
It's just in the center. It's just
I sent you
Porsche.
guys some pictures of it was like a 944 cart. So I'm in this Facebook group. It's Miata Carts of America, which like Miata carts are cool. It's just where you cut the car apart to where it's just the skeleton of the car, and those are road legal in Oklahoma because we have crazy laws here. So it was a 944 cart where they just cut the body off the car and it was just the chassis.
That thing looks sick.
Kind of maybe want to do it.
I like the way 944s look, though.
I do too, but I mean, ours is already fucked up. We just take a cut off wheel to it.
Yeah.
And a reciprocating saw.
The ACR Viper documentary came out last week.
Oh, did it?
It's on YouTube. It's like around a half hour long or so, just talking about their 701 lap time, which was...
Wait, where's this again? I'm sorry. Like, what streaming platform?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
It's free.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yep.
Guys, the Duramax is in a bad way.
Oh no.
It's using a lot of coolant.
Oh no.
Cars shouldn't use that.
It's got like 400 RPM, like, bouncing at idle.
That's not good either.
Wednesday, I'm planning on trying to diagnose what is wrong with that compression test, and I'll do a coolant pressure test also. My wife and I are not going out on Valentine's Day proper.
My wife.
So you don't have a wife.
No.
But yeah, we're not doing stuff Valentine's Day, so I'm going to work on a truck on Valentine's Day.
You should work on the truck on Thursday when it's 70 degrees.
It's supposed to be 70 degrees on Wednesday also.
Oh.
So, or near enough to make no difference, 69.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm gonna figure out what's wrong with that, and then maybe fix a little juice because I might have to drive it for a little bit because I haven't done anything with it. I got that thing running and then pulled it in the garage while it still had a fuel leak and haven't really messed with it since.
Can Little Juice pull the trailer?
I mean, technically.
Like, if it were running...
Can it? Yes. Should it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because the work box trailer is bigger than the Bronco, so like physically larger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just take back roads, bumper pull that shit instead of on an actual hitch. Yeah, so probably next week I'll be officially able to tell everyone what's wrong with the Duramax.
Hopefully not too much.
Doesn't matter what it is, it's just going to cost a ton of money. Damn it. So, I think it's time. It's probably a good time to tell people how they can get a free shirt.
How can I get a free shirt?
Well, you can't get a free shirt.
Where are the rules and requirements on this?
So I'm going to tell people what the rules and requirements are.
Rule 1. Daniel can't get a shirt.
Rule 1 is Daniel cannot win this shirt. So, don't worry. The guy that we're closest to who listens to this podcast is not eligible to win. But like Jeff, your coworkers are eligible to win.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally everyone besides Daniel's eligible.
And me. I can win too then.
No. We can't win.
Shit.
No, we can't win this. So what you have to do is you have to rate the podcast on iTunes. And you have to write a review. Like, so you can't just hit 5-star because you know that's where you're going to click, right?
But then you also type the words 5 stars.
I mean, that's all. Like that's all you have to
counts.
do is you have to actually write the review. So it could be something like these dudes are good,
Or 5 stars.
or 5 stars, or Austin and Jeff are good and Devin sucks. Like, I mean, it could be whatever, right?
Wow.
I mean, tell your buddies. Like, they can write Austin sucks. I mean, just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to join the Radial Podcast crew on Facebook. That is a requirement. You have to join the group, and then you have to post in the group telling us that you did this. Or alternatively, because not everybody has iTunes, right? But everybody has Facebook. So you have to follow our page on Facebook. It's the Radial Podcast. on Facebook. It's easy. Just like it, follow it. And then you have to share our page on your personal Facebook, and we'll be able to see that. And then you have to join the Radial Podcast crew on Facebook, the group. And then you have to post in there telling us that you did it.
We covered that one.
I know, but these are two different ways that you can...
Oh.
Yeah, so either iTunes review and so forth, or share Facebook page and so forth, and then join the crew and let us know you did one of those two.
Yeah.
So it's join the crew and then review or share on Facebook.
Yes.
It would be the better way.
Here's the kicker, though, because I know not everybody has a computer anymore, right? But if you do have a computer, you can still rate us on iTunes. If you have an Android device, you just have to have iTunes on your computer. So you can get a double entry.
Can you get iTunes on your Android phone?
No idea.
Probably not.
I'm
I would say no.
I'm going to say no.
But you can on your laptop or your work computer, even. Or your buddy's computer.
Yeah, just install iTunes on every computer you see.
If you do both of these things, you're going to get a double entry.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to find some random pick generator thing on Facebook and put everybody, or not on Facebook, on the internet, and punch everybody's names into it and have it kick me out, whoever wins this. I'm not going to make a Facebook page post about this because
you should
Facebook wants money from us.
Yes.
To do this.
And we say no.
Interestingly, I was just reading something about raffles on Facebook, and people apparently, the way they find it is by the word raffle. So people started using waffle.
Smart.
This is not like 880 where it's a weird thing that I don't believe anybody actually wins. So
yeah, I still need to know more about how that shit works.
I assume it doesn't.
I mean, that's the only logical conclusion that I can come up with, because they're just churning through money. There's no way that their sales can cover that.
But yeah, I'm gonna leave this open for probably a couple weeks, so I'll say something about it next week on next week's podcast.
Okay, yeah.
And then hang on one second, let me pull up my calendar. I'll tell you what the last day I'm gonna do this on. You have until February 23rd to do these things, so that is 2 Fridays from now. And then that Friday I'll close it. I'll post it into the generator thing, and I'll say in the crew who won, and get their shipping stuff from them, and they can pick out whatever shirt they want. So whatever style, whatever color, whatever size, so long as it's not like 6XL or whatever. That's a lot of material.
Nope.
That costs extra.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's an option that's that big.
Sweet. So if you need that, sorry about that. Sorry about you.
You can buy a second and have someone stitch them together for you.
How about just buy the right size T-shirt and then just cut the logo out and then just sew it to the face.
You could do that too,
or glue it.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of cool stuff coming up this year, guys. I just made a messenger group.
Yeah, you did.
That's some cool stuff. We'll talk about that later.
Ben posted a race car finish flag in it, a checkered flag.
I made that the group emoji.
I know. I'm still that is the activity in the group.
I'm really stoked on that.
I am too.
Guys, where can they find us?
The Olympics.cool.com, because the Olympics are going on and it's rad.
We're not talking about the Olympics.
The Olympics are lame.com.
Yes, they are. Hatsunamiku.racing.
Hell yeah.
Radiopodcast.com. Moon phases are not caused by the Earth's shadow.com.
The moon phases are not caused by the Earth's shadow.com.
Thank you.
The is quite important there. If you want to get to the right spot.
On the social medias, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Radial Podcast. Guys, I set up the YouTube channel. So these podcasts should start being posted on YouTube if you're into that.
Nice.
Maybe we'll make some content there. Probably not. But I don't know. Maybe I'll take a video of us cutting that nasty carpet out of the 944.
Hell yeah.
Whenever we get around to it, we should do that.
Maybe Sunday. Probably not.
Maybe. Be sure to pick up a t-shirt. Shop.radiopodcast.com. Please leave us a rating and review on iTunes.
Especially if you want to win a shirt.
But yeah, I mean, that's super helpful for us. It allows us to keep doing this. Oh, man, I guess started posting the podcast on Stitcher also. So
I have no idea what that is.
Dude, apparently people use it. So
Nice.
Apparently, most people don't use like first-party podcast apps. So,
why not? I don't understand why not.
Because they were really
Devin
bad up
doesn't.
until recently. So, like the Apple iTunes podcast app sucked.
I feel like it's gotten worse. I prefer the old version.
I mean, I know how to get to the podcast that I want to listen to on it.
So do I. But like, I don't like the layout changes. I don't care for.
Yep. Do you guys have anything else, or do you want to end this thing?
I have nothing else.
We've been recording for almost 2 hours.
If
I know
you
the podcast
have
isn't 2 hours.
A chance to go watch a rocket launch in person, I would highly recommend it.
It's expensive.
Not really. Like most rockets, you don't have to pay to go watch.
No,
shoot
you just
off.
have to be there. Like,
Yeah, but like
So if you
so
live
like
in
you can
Florida,
close off the sky.
we live in like a not super cheap place to get plane tickets from, but I drove to Tulsa, which is like an hour and a half drive, and flew to Orlando and back for less than $100 round
I
trip.
did not know Tulsa had an airport.
Yeah,
I say.
it's smaller than our airport, but for
I
some
would say
reason the flight was cheaper.
Major cities have airports.
I wouldn't call Tulsa a major city.
It is
It's
absolutely a major city.
Have you ever been to Tulsa?
I have been to Tulsa, and the only city in this entire state I would call major is Oklahoma City.
Tulsa's pretty big, bro.
More concerts
Not-
go to Tulsa than Oklahoma City.
Do they?
That's a weird
Yes.
thing to gauge its city size by, but yeah, Tulsa is a pretty.
Tulsa's pretty big.
Yeah.
You hear about Tulsa in a lot of country
What are you?
songs.
How are you trying to prove me wrong right now?
I'm just
Just Googling population?
yeah. Yes.
I'm sure the population of Oklahoma City's higher.
Oh, for sure, because it's Oklahoma
The-
City is one of the largest cities in.
At one time, it
its
was
size.
the largest city in the country.
Yeah, as far as just like sheer
And-
size,
Yeah.
like actual square mileage.
Yeah.
It's weird how they do that. It's like
Oklahoma City's got more than 50% more people than Tulsa.
okay. Does that include the whole metro?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's
Because you know you
probably
go like
all-
half a mile that way and you're in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
I mean, we're technically in Oklahoma City right now,
No, we're in Yukon.
which is a suburb of Oklahoma City.
Now Yukon's its own city.
Yeah.
You don't have any Oklahoma City utilities out here.
No.
No, Oklahoma City kind of like wraps around Yukon in this like
Yeah.
fucking
So-
nightmare.
so
they do the
hug.
same thing to like Bethany and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would still say that like Bethany is part of Oklahoma City.
No, it's its own town.
You could say that, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Oklahoma City. No, I don't.
Yeah. Who? Yeah.
This has been the Oklahoma Geography Minute.
How many square miles is Tulsa?
Jeez.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm just trying to get a. You're saying that they've got less than 50% of the population, but what percentage of the
Not less
area?
than 50% of the population, but Oklahoma City's got more than 50% more. So it's 400,000
Wait, how does that
versus
math
600.
work out?
Because we've got more. So if you
He's
take
just saying it in the most complicated way.
Oklahoma has like
Oklahoma City has 50% more population than Tulsa's population.
yeah,
Okay.
So if they've got
Well, yeah.
2, then we have
It's the fucking state capital.
3.
yes, yeah. They've got 400,000. We've got 630.
I mean, I will agree when I say that like Tulsa ain't shit, right? But
Oh yeah, I don't like the city. I'm just saying like it's not a small
yeah,
city.
it's not a small city.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call it like major.
It's the other major city in Oklahoma.
See, I wouldn't.
What would you call the other major?
I
city?
would say there are no other major cities than Oklahoma
Lawton's
City.
kind of a big
Fuck
deal.
Lawton.
No, Lawton is not.
Fort Sill's kind of big.
Yeah.
So
It's a military base.
speaking of area, Tulsa 187 square miles. Oklahoma City 620 square miles.
Okay, so,
So
you,
relatively,
the
Tulsa,
population density of Tulsa is much higher than that of Oklahoma City.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Why are we still talking about this? We have to end this podcast. Everybody already stopped listening.
Fuck Tulsa.
The BOK Center is pretty cool.
I got family in Tulsa.
If it was cool, it'd be called the Be Good Center. Shut it down, Austin.
Okay, let's
With that, shut it down.
shut the fucking podcast
BOK
down.
is a Bank of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ending this. Say goodbye, Jeff.
Goodbye, Geoff.
I'm holding everyone hostage.
Goodbye, Jeff.
Goodbye, Geoff.
Boo doop boop boop boo boo boop.
What? Hey, I'm not gonna need that Valentine's Day.
Oh, and they're gonna be
shit.
like, "Oh, did you guys decide to go somewhere else?" And be like, oh.
Yeah, we decided to go somewhere else. All right,
Yeah.
go our separate ways.
Then Journey starts playing.